Day. Hold up. All right. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is the author Andrew Snorton, and you're joining me for the Fast 15. And wow, that's all I can say. Just real quick to stay connected with me, make sure to add me on Facebook at the page Author Andrew Snorton. You may also add me on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at AuthorASnorton. Email me at AuthorASnorton@gmail.com for requests for autograph copies of any of the books, for scheduling any book signings, speaking engagements, or you just need a word of encouragement beyond just what we do at the Fast 15. Now, normally we have been going live. Sometimes technology hadn't really been cooperating, so I've had to pre-record. So today we're actually going live, kind of taking it back to how we started way back on April 1st, 2020. And I'm not fooling about having started on April 1st. So before we get into our I guess our quick word or thought of the day, we always start off by just kind of checking up on people. We know that there's a lot going on with a lot of people. Yes, we're aware of the current pandemic. There's still issues with that. We're aware that there's people that are dealing with things related to their physical health, their mental health, their stress levels are out of control. Some people are dealing with family issues, um, things within the household, things in their community. I know even in recent weeks, colleagues of mine from the Norcross community have had to, for like our term, celebrate the life, but acknowledge the loss of two people, Bradley Coleman and Andrea Cornelius. So I've had some family stuff pop up from time to time. So I know there's people out there that are going through some things. And like I'll tell anybody, you have every right to feel some kind of way. I know there's times that I felt some kind of way. So if you're feeling some kind of way about something, it is totally understandable. But by the same token, you owe it to yourself to kind of pause as best as possible, slow down the moving parts as best as possible, and just kind of reorganize. Get the help that you need. So I'm grateful for people who've taken time to check up on me. Hopefully, people that I've been able to check on have felt, a word of encouragement. And anyone out there that's just going through something, um, again, we acknowledge that you're going through something. We have to do that. But the bigger acknowledgement is whether it's professional help, whether it's informal help, whether it's kind of changing your circles or your way of doing things, whatever constructive means that you can, see what you can do to pivot as positively as possible. Because whether you think it or not, there are people who need you. There's people who are counting on you. There's people who are encouraged, who need you around and who value you. So for anyone that's not feeling that great, just a word of encouragement. For folks who are doing pretty well, hey, congratulations. There's a number of people, job opportunities, people that are launching new projects, things that they put on hold. They're finally able to get started. Some people, as we've heard, delays don't mean defeat. Shouts to one of my colleagues, Chris Kender, making major moves in movies, acting, television. So make sure to check her out. There's other people I know that are doing some great things. So to anyone that's experiencing greatness, whether you learn how to cook something or you tied your shoe or you got out of bed, whatever, don't diminish whatever great thing you've been able to do. Celebrate it because you know what you've had to work through in order to get there. But just every once in a while, we do have to pause and pump our brakes so that way we don't go overboard. And we want to remember people who might not be doing as great because that might have been us. And, it could be us. So, feed off the positive energy, but share a little bit of positive energy as best as you can. So before we go into our talk for the day, shouts to Perfect Storm. Good to see you. Known her for a minute. Shouts to Stan King, doing great work up in the 5 boroughs. So check him out and the great work he's doing at Boys and Girls Club. Kelly Marie Taylor, 1971. Ivy Kine, thanks for joining us. Nigas Dante, oh gosh, Dante, my apologies. Dante doing some great work with not only Let Us Live magazine, but he's got a great project product that he's working on. So make sure to add Negus Dante Daynard. Make sure to add him. Check out the great work he's doing, like I said, in press and media, as well as, a great business and community project that he's working on. Please check him out. So, of course, I'm going to pull from the Go-To 9 Stories of Faith, Volume 1. Of course, I like all the work that I've done, but this one seems like is still like key, and all of them are key and relevant. But I want to pull from one of the chapters, and I think it kind of fits in with the theme of kind of getting overwhelmed. So I'm looking at chapter 5, Floyd Mayweather versus Jerry Cooney. Floyd Mayweather versus Jerry Cooney. And there's a couple of quotes that I want to read that I think are kind of speaking, especially to people I know that are going through some stuff, and to a degree, just a reminder for me. And this chapter focuses more on living with mental health, but even understand the dynamic of stressors and getting pulled 1,001 directions. I think all of us can relate to some of these, and also be more sensitive and more of an advocate of people living with mental health or any type of challenge. So for people who know Floyd Mayweather, one of the top boxers of his era, Jerry Cooney was hyped up as the great next champion in the early 1980s and got beat to a pulp by Larry Holmes and just about everybody else. But here's a couple of things I want to read with you that hopefully are speaking to some people. So the first quote that I want to pull is, "At times I struggle with who I am. I live with understanding what belongs to me and what belongs to my illness." Now, I want to kind of break this one down. At times, I sometimes struggle with who I am. That's not just for mental health, that's for any type of identity, or when you're getting pulled family wise, community wise, professionally. Sometimes you kind of lose sight of who you are. So that's why we try to pause as best as possible, not just any day, but I always try to do this midday pause or midday break. I live with understanding what belongs to me and what belongs to my illness. Now, that's not only just in regards to mental health, but that's anything. And that kind of overlaps into the faith community. Some battles are yours to fight, but maybe every battle isn't. And sometimes there might be a battle that you're, quote, not supposed to fight at this time. Maybe because the divine is fighting it for you, or maybe there are other people who are advocating for you. So even while that's talking about a mental health illness, living with a mental health issue, that can relate to any issues. And I know a couple of people out there that are getting pulled professionally, family wise, just trying to breathe. So I know one individual, you know who you are, and I'm glad we had that talk yesterday. Here's a couple other things in regards to even still living as productive and positive a life as possible. And here's something that's interesting. Here's an interesting motto. In using the motto of being able to run, jump, and find a good landing place, he's getting there daily and consistently. So think about it. Some things we have to be in motion. Some things we got to move. And some things, when we find that landing place, sometimes that landing place is just a place for you to pause and just look at things. So sometimes we have to be in motion. Sometimes we have to be still. And that's cool, because based on a situation, it might call for you to get the heck out of there. Sometimes it might call for you to be like, hey, let me slow down and stop my moving parts. Or sometimes you might need those moments of solitude. Sometimes you need to be around people, but sometimes you don't. And that's okay. Every situation is going to call for a different course of action, but part of it means there are times we have to be in motion. Sometimes we have to be still, and that's okay. It's not a one size fits all. It's okay to use different tools out of your toolbox in order to address the different things that you need to address. And one other thing that I want to close out with for our reading for the day, and this is from the same chapter. Life is what it is. You can't always control what happens, but you can control your response. That is my goal each day, or at least try to do so. When it's all said and done, I'd be more than satisfied if people can say that I met that guy, meaning me. Well, not me, but the me. Well, that too, but the me in the chapter. He was a decent guy, he concludes. And, that is so powerful. We might not always be able to control everything that happens, but we can do it. can to control our responses, how we engage. And it doesn't mean like if something negative happens, you're not going to have your feelings hurt. And it's not like you're not going to be agitated or angry, but we always, as best as possible, have to try to watch our delivery. I know that's something that I have to do every once in a while. I got to watch my delivery in regards to like my tone or my volume or the choice of words. And when you do have that moment where you slip, once you kind of come back to your senses, acknowledge where you slipped, and then just try to keep it moving and pick up the pieces. So hopefully for today's passage from Nine Stories of Faith, Volume 1, Nine Stories of Faith, Volume 1. Hopefully that helps somebody today that might be going through something, or even if you've already gotten through something, giving you a couple of tools the next time you end up going through something. So hopefully that helps her today. So a couple of quick notes. As we wrap up, shout out to my team at Status Network and Live TV. I know we've been kind of on hiatus for the last couple months. Part of it has been stuff on my end, to be totally honest with you. But I'm looking forward to finally getting back on track. This is actually our 4th year of the show. So and I know part of it was I hadn't missed too many dates in the first 4 years. So shout out to the entire team of Stats Network Live TV. For those of you that are fans of baseball, catch me later today at Coolray Field in Lawrenceville, Georgia. I'll be covering the Gwinnett Stripers, who are the AAA affiliate of the Atlanta Braves. Shouts to that entire team up there, and I have a pretty interesting surprise in my pregame interview. So you want to make sure to check that out, as well as a recap. This Saturday, join me in Bloomington, Illinois at Miller Park. I think I want to say it's from 12 to 6, even though on the flyer I put 10, but we got to be there early to set up. But be there at Miller Park in Bloomington, Illinois for the Cultural Festival. I'm really excited to be one of the participating authors there. I'll have copies of all 3 books, and thanks to all the bookstores and other related outlets, because I've had some delays with my publisher where it's like, hey, I need to get these copies for this event. So I want to acknowledge everybody who's been so kind. Wake Forest University Bookstore, Blackball, based out of Peoria, Illinois, and Young, Gifted, and Black, children's book and workshops. So of course I will restock those shelves. I just got to get this stuff taken care of for this coming Saturday. Trying to see if there's any other things. Shouts to all the media outlets who've been kind enough to interview me on their platforms. Looking forward to more interviews. There's more projects in the works. So obviously, keep track. Shouts to everybody that supported me with every book, audio book, speaking engagement, everything. We can't do this by ourselves. There's a lot that we can do by ourselves, but we can't do everything. So all the media outlets, all the friends, associates that have suggested, hey, you need to look at this festival. Hey, can you speak here? Hey, can we do this type of collaborative piece? I'm very grateful to everybody that's thought enough of me to help me to get to where I am. So this is year number 5 on the writing end. And like I said, I'm just very grateful to everybody. So as we get ready to wind down, as a reminder to stay connected with me, add me on Facebook at the page Author Andrew Snorton, AuthorAndrewSnorton. Make sure to add me on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at AuthorASnorton. You may email me at AuthorASnorton@gmail.com for, like I said, book signings, special events, talks, all that type of thing. And I'm definitely grateful to everyone that's given me the opportunity. And in closing, like I like to do, whether it's small or big, a victory is a victory. And whether slow or swift, movement is movement. So remain victorious and keep it moving. And to the folks that are tuning in on the book, I'm going to say thank you for tuning in. Hope to see you guys real soon. And to those of you that joined me on the gram, I want to shout you out one more time. Negus, Dante, Daynard. Thank you. I'm always so used to calling you Dante, but make sure to connect with him, folks. He's doing some great work. Kelly Marie Taylor, 1971. Good to see you. Ivy Kind, thank you so much. Stan King, 51. One of my college classmates. Thank you so much, Stan. And thank you for the work you're doing with the Boys and Girls Club. D Music Management. Hey, good to see you. Thank you so much for joining. Jamal Herbert, good brother, happy belated birthday. Another good author doing good work, so make sure to check him out. Perfect Storm, man, look, you all right. You've been all right. I've known you for a minute and vice versa, but I hope you're holding up as well as possible, given recent events. Um, yeah, I really enjoyed, hey, likewise at Let Us Live magazine. I tell you what, when we did that interview in May, it dropped at the right time. I was hoping it would drop in June when I was in Central Illinois, but it was perfect timing because the week that the interview dropped with Let Us Live magazine, check it out because it dropped on July 6th. That was leading in to when I was in Birmingham at the Negro Southern Leagues Museum. So that was perfect timing. So thank you all. Yeah, please call me after live. You can call me, but just wait just a couple of moments. Oh my gosh, but shouts to everybody. So on the gram, make sure to do the usual like, share. I'll do a reel, little, how we do. You know how we do with technology. But anyway, you guys take good care. Thank you so much. Until next time, continue blessings and well wishes to you, your families, friends, loved ones. So seriously, take good care. I am